Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Bo, and I'm back with some more truth and fact sports talk. Shout out to the movement, everybody that's moving with us, and of course, 3kingsboxing.com, where you get the latest and greatest of everything that's going on. Be on the lookout for the Movement Umbrella Sports Talk podcast that will be taking place every Tuesday, which is, of course, is today, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central, and I believe 5 o'clock Pacific. You guys see that smiling face on the other end with them sunglasses? No, that's not a movie star. But however, that is the IBO undefeated UK champion, Miss Chantelle Cameron. Chantelle, thanks for being here.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
All right, all right, all right. Now, a lot's been going on with you. You're the champion. You defended your title again in good fashion. You was in Thailand. Uh,
Yeah.
where you participated. Well, no, you didn't participate in the kickboxing match, but you was doing some things with kickboxing. A lot of people don't know you actually started out in kickboxing.
Yeah, I started out kickboxing when I was 10, then Thai boxing when I was 16, and then 18 I went back to boxing. Well, I started boxing and then
Okay,
full-time boxer.
so you've always had an affinity for contact.
Just fighting, yeah. I think I was just born to fight because since the age of 10 I've been doing some form of fighting.
Okay, now since you've become champion, there's been a lot of changes going on with you. You seem to have gotten more hungrier because I watch your fights. You seem to be more intent and more hungry as a champion. How do you maintain? Because most people when they win the championship, they kind of get content. You seem to be even more hungry now.
I'm 100% more hungry. I feel like after each fight, I'm getting hungrier and hungrier because obviously, at the minute, I'm IBO world champion, but I don't want to be IBO. I want to be WBA, IBF. I want all the belts. So IBO is not enough. I want every single belt there is. It's making me hungrier to get these champions to face me. So it's more of a drive now, especially when you're world champion. People are coming after me as well, and I'm going after the other world champions. It's like a chase.
Okay. Now before I go any further, I just got taken back for a minute. What's that famous phrase you used to say that we used to have you say on the show?
Babysitting the belts. That's
So
what's happening.
Chantel Cameron is not finna be babysitting them belts.
I'm 100% not babysitting them. There's champions there now babysitting them, and I'm trying to take them belts,
Okay.
letting them out, letting them out and get some action.
Now I think you was on the Josh Taylor undercard again.
Yeah, June the 23rd.
Okay. In your preparation for the fight, a lot of times a lot of people think the actual boxing match is hard, and I've often tell people that it's not the boxing match that hard; it's the preparation for the fight. The
Oh,
actual fight itself is kind of easy.
100%. The fight's lost in camp. Mental state, any injuries, any niggles, everything. So that training camp was the longest one I've had, but I made sure that my body was in tip-top shape. I was sports massages, cryo clinics, everything, just making sure that my body was ready for 10 miles fight. And you got to make sure as well, like, you've done all the work in the gym, you've done all your road work, your fitness is there, you don't peak too soon. It's like a big mental thing because then if you start feeling like you're peaking too soon, you start panicking, thinking, "Oh no, I've hit my peak. It's too soon. It's too soon." So you got to hit everything on the head like at the perfect time. So with me, like the hardest part of the fight is the training camp, especially for the mental side of it as well. Like you got to go in there feeling confident and ready, and knowing that you've left no stone unturned. So I always make sure I do that.
Now that's very hard to make sure you left no stone unturned because
Yeah.
each week brings a new challenge. When they're like the closer to fight date brings a new challenge.
Yeah, like especially like little niggles as well because you can your body's you put your body through that intense training every day, every week. You're gonna get little injuries occurring and stuff, so you have to keep on top of them. Like, I had a few, and straight away I was just like, oh no, no, this could hold me back out of the fight. So then I go see like the massages and stuff, and just make sure they just got rid of them for me. And in fight week as well, there's all sorts of challenges. Could be family issues, just not feeling well one week. You're not feeling well, you can't not train. You can't like oh, I'm just gonna have the week off. You can't do that. Like, you can have a day off maybe, but
Mm.
you can't have any longer than that. So if you're ill, you just got to get on with it and keep training.
Now that's interesting you say that. Most fighters when they get ill, they go see the doctor, and sometimes they prescribe them medicine. If any type of medicine that you're prescribed by a doctor, do you make sure you turn that over to the commission to make sure that's approved for you to be using?
Yeah, I hate taking any sort of medication anyway. So I'd only take medication if it's like actually needed. If it's like where I'm thinking I cannot handle this, I need to take something. Other than that, I just get on with it. And if I do take medicine, I make sure I go on the websites and stuff to make sure that there's no substances in it that I'm banned from, because I'm a bit paranoid about that as well, because it could be anything. Like you could take a hay fever tablet and it's got something banned in, and next thing
Mm.
you have a test and that's it. So I'm always on point for that.
That I'm glad you said it because you're right. You can take certain kind of medicine that may have just the slightest little thing in it that's on the ban list,
Yeah,
and the ban list change all the time, so you don't even know what's on that list sometimes.
yeah. So I always make sure of that.
Okay, so when you're sick and you're pushing through, you said you take no more than a day off, right? What do you do in that day that you take off? Is it like, oh, I want to train, or I mean, what do you do? Because the next day you got to get back at it.
So or you always try to go for a run. Like no, they know the old like the old saying that if you swell it out, you'll get rid of it.
Hmm.
I always try that, so I always put loads of layers on and just try to swell it out. And if that makes me feel worse, I just think, oh, do you know what? I'm just gonna get in bed, wrap myself up, watch movies, and try to sleep it off. Like that's my perfect excuse to sleep. I think, well, I'm sleeping this stuff, so I get as many hours in as I can, and then the next day I just get on with it. You think you've had a day to recover, but even if you suffer, even if you're still feeling a bit vulnerable, just think you had yesterday off. Got to get on with it today.
Okay, you said you had yesterday off. You got to get on with
Yeah.
it. Oh my God. So so you're not the kind of person. So like, how do you deal with taking vacations then? Because I mean, it's not a training camp, but how do you deal with vacation? Because most people are restless, especially fighters. They're restless when they take vacation. Some enjoy it to the point where they come back and they're in a different weight class.
Yeah. So vacation. So when I was in Thailand, obviously there's so many activities to do. So like every day was an adventure. So you weren't even restless there because you're non-stop. You're always on the go. But like a beach holiday, I'd be bored within a couple of days. I'd have to go for runs, find a gym or something, because I'm like I get bored easy anyway. Just sitting around too long, just I get itchy. Like I need to be doing stuff. So I'm always on the move.
Okay, so you still find some kind of way to do some kind of training even when you're on vacation.
Yeah, because otherwise I just start getting bored and get fidgety.
Okay. Um, your family life, now that you're champion, now that you're starting to move up in the well, now that you're champion, now you're starting to get recognition. People starting to know who you are. I've personally have seen your Twitter and your Instagram following just skyrocket.
Yeah.
How is your family dealing with this? I mean, it's not like overwhelmingly fame, but it's enough to be kind of impactful on some privacy issues.
um, they're fine with it really. Like earlier on, I went for breakfast with my mum, and there was like two strangers like coming up to me and stuff, and I think my mum was a bit taken aback because it was just out of the blue as well. We were just minding our business, and they're just coming up to us like when we're trying to eat, and when we're in a shop, like in a queue, and they're like turning around and like saying, "Oh, you're Chantelle now." I think today of all days, my mum was a bit taken aback because she was like, "Oh my god, that's weird." And I was like, "I know, it's a bit like because we're not used to it. It's a bit like out of the blue." But it's I think it's like it's rewarding because it's hard work as well, and especially when like guys or people are appreciating it. Like they're saying, like, "Oh, they love watching me fight, my style." And that it's quite rewarding, especially because like women's boxing is just on the rise now as well. So it is nice, but sometimes I am a bit taken back.
You mentioned women boxing being on the rise. It's more. I think it's a little bit more than just women's boxing. I think if you look at what's going on behind the scenes, you have a lot more women in key positions in boxing, reporting,
Oh yeah.
president, CEO, matchmaking. How do you explain? It seemed like what is your take on some of the things we're seeing in the changes and how women are being more incorporated, not just in boxing, but even in sports. Period.
I think it's brilliant. I think like there's still work to do to make it like equality as such, but it's a lot better than what it used to be, and it's getting more and more profile. So it's amazing, especially in the whole of sport for women. It's especially the football as well. It's great, but it just needs a bit more of a push, and I think it will be there. But it's great for women because it's getting more women into sport as well. Like you're
Okay.
seeing so many more women. Like just an example, not even boxing. Like in the gyms now, you're seeing a lot more women in the gym in the weight area. Whereas say 3-4 years ago, you wouldn't really seen that. You see one or two, but now you're seeing so many, and that's just like a prime example of women actually like going into the not so much men's area, but like feeling that comfortable to start lifting weights and stuff. So I think it's great. It's really good.
Okay. One of the things, like you said, women are getting more involved, and you're actually part of that because you're
Yeah.
on that scene. Um, Looking forward into the future, what is like? Because I know you talk to young girls and everything. What are some of the things that you tell these young girls? Because they look at you, they know about your humble beginnings. Now you're a champion. Um, I mean, you're not televised like a Katie Taylor, but you still can't ignore that there is a Chantelle Cameron out there.
Just tell them like that just because they're young and stuff, as long as they put the hard work and dedication in, they'll be where I am. As long as they stay on the right road and don't go off track like with distractions that come with growing up, like they can be the exact same position I am. It's just staying in the gym and kind of like sidetracking the teenage like life where you can go down the wrong path. And as long as they do that, like that, they're going to be the next Chantelle Cameron and taking probably better than me, probably much better taking over. So I always try and say to them that is listen to their coach, go to a gym where you feel comfortable, and just stay dedicated.
You make it sound easy, but when you're a teenager, you got all these things you want to do. It's kind of hard.
It's really
How
hard.
were
I
you
know.
able to maintain that? I mean, because you make it sound
I
easy.
think it's
Listen,
a
listen,
balance.
I'm not gonna say my age, but I'm way older than than people think. But even me as a teenager, it was really hard. So how did you maintain that focus?
I think it's like a balance because I still had a normal teenage life. Like, still going out when I was younger, just doing the teenage things you do, but then also like remembering to take myself to the gym. And
Mm.
so it's just about balance. And because I say to children as well that, like teenage, that they still should enjoy their teenage life. Like you only get one teenage life, you want good memories, so enjoy it, but just remember to get back in the gym after, and don't be peer pressured into what your friends do every night. Like it's not worth it.
Okay, we got 2 more minutes. We're gonna be wrapping this up. How your mom and your dad, they got to be proud of you, but how does like your other siblings take this massive popularity for their baby sister?
I think they're really proud because they've seen the ups and downs. Like they've seen my hat literally shattered into pieces through boxing,
Mm.
and now they're seeing I'm doing well, and they see I'm happy, and I'm actually getting like things that I deserve. It should have happened a long time ago, but it didn't. So I think they're really proud, and just shows how strong I am that I still like continued through all the carnage that happened with the Olympics and stuff, because I was so easy, like ready to walk away. But I've come back stronger really, and at the minute I'm undefeated and looking to stay that way. So I think they're really proud because I've actually followed through with my dreams and I didn't give up.
Now, is there life after boxing for Chantel, and what entail do we can we see Chantel Cameron doing outside of boxing? I know it's going to be something because you have a competitive nature about you, so it's going to be something involving some type of competitiveness.
Well, since I went to Thailand and started throwing my knees and legs about again, I'm actually thinking about MMA again. It's like a little possibility. Just because when I was throwing it around, I was thinking, oh God, I missed this. But and I've never done MMA. I've done everything else, and I haven't done MMA. But I just don't think I'll be good at the grappling. But I did have me thinking. I was just like, ah, would this be the final chapter? So I'm still going to stick to the boxing for a few more years, and maybe a small chance MMA. very small chance.
Oh man.
I just like fighting, so I think I can't just walk away. And it's one of the things at the back of my mind. I know I haven't done it, and I've done everything else. So it's kind of like if I've done it, then I can say that I've done every single, like I've done them all.
Mm.
And especially if I become a world champion, then I've really done them all. I've been world champion every single thing. So it's I'll see.
So
Who knows?
it's kind of a bucket list thing at this point.
Yeah, it is kind of a bucket list thing, but I'm just thinking about the grappling. But I think to myself, I wouldn't have to be good at grappling as long as like had good kicks, good punches, knocking them out on their feet. Then I would need to take it to the floor.
Okay. And last but not least, you know, I've known you back when you was in the amateurs, and you've never lost that smile. I always tell you it's like the second best smile I've ever seen, of course, being next after my daughter. How do you maintain? Because that smile, I've never seen that smile in the ring. There's no smile in the ring. You look vicious. You have your hair and you have the long ponytails on like a bull's horn, and you look like you are the goddess of war. Like you ready to just dig in and kick some ass. How do you that transformation? How do you balance that transformation out?
As soon as that bell goes, I just want to take somebody's head off. So I'm just literally, I'm just like, I'm winning this fight. So I have no time to be smiley, smiley. And the nice girl goes out the window because I'm in there to cause savage. And until the bells, until the final bell's gone or I stop them, then they're not, no smiles. It's all action.
All right, and then finally, um, your technique per fight improves. What can you contribute to that? Because every fight I see you, there's something I see that you didn't do the last fight different. So it's always seemed like you're improving.
Yeah, my coach Shane McGuigan, he's a really good coach, and each time I go back into camp, like he works on different things. I'm nowhere near like the finished article. I have so much more to give and so much more to learn. So like even though I'm world champion at the moment, I'm still learning the game and I'm still improving. And Shane's great with that, so he's bringing me on like leaps and bounds. So I'm looking my next fight. Unfortunately, my last fight wasn't on YouTube or wasn't on shown on TV. Usually they're always shown on UK TV and they wasn't. So I've not watched my last fight back, so I can't tell you my performance there. But I stopped a girl that never been stopped, and she was number 3 in the world. And she previously boxed Delphine Pursoon, who was number 1, and Delphine went the full 10 rounds of her. So for the fact that I stopped her in the 6th round is like quite a good statement I've made. So I'm looking forward to watching that and seeing if there was an improvement because I feel like I'm always improving. So hopefully.
Okay, so that was number three. So basically, what you're telling me is number one can get it too. That's what you're telling me. That's basically what you're telling me is, hey, number one can get it too.
I'm ready for number 1.
Okay.
When she's ready, I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Chantelle, tell everybody where they can find you at and follow you, and any information about your next fight.
So you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at ShanCam91. And my next fight hopefully is September, October. I'm not too sure yet, but September or October.
All right. And of course, this is Bo, Truth and Fact Sports Talk. Man, like I said, you can follow me on Twitter at truth_factbox1. Same thing with Instagram. You can also catch any of my articles at 3kingsboxing.com. Along with this one, also, you can catch this there. Man, I want to thank you, Chantel. You always take time out to talk. I definitely
No
appreciate it.
worries.
And man, I will always I will always support you, win or lose. And I just can't wait to see you fight again. I hope the next one is shown live on regular TV. And you just keep doing what you're doing.
Oh, thank you. I'll keep doing it.
All right, you have a good day. And tell your brother
Thank you.
next time we're doing the interview to stay out the back room.
Yeah, I will do. Coming and making a racket.
All right, you have a good night.
Okay, see ya. Bye.